Ding dong, the Sony's dead. Sony Spider-Man Universe is dead.
Sony'S is dead. Who killed it? Let's look at the main culprits. We've got two suspects. Suspect number one, Kraven.
My son, never show mercy.
As soon as I saw this trailer, I was like, what? I literally texted you. I was like, are you seeing what I'm saying? So I was excited to see this movie.
And when the trailer came out, it was like almost a year ago, and then they had to push the film back because of the writer's strike, and they had to redo some stuff. And I'm like, okay. And I have to say, to the people who's watching, from this point out, starting right here, this is spoiler. Okay, this is a spoiler review. This movie's bad. Okay. It doesn't even feel like a movie. It doesn't feel like it is a story at all. Watching movies like this, it feels like Invasions of the Body Snatchers. They act like that person, but on the inside, it's not really them. That's what I feel like Kraven is. You're a villain, okay?
Yeah, like the issue with not just Kraven, but almost the entire Sony Spider-Man universe is that all these characters are mostly known by their relationship to Spider-Man. So when you remove Spider-Man, you remove such a humongous piece of that character. Venom went 3 movies without the Venom logo. Like, how? That is insane, okay? That's crazy to me. And so since we don't have Spider-Man in this movie, Kraven is falling all over himself trying to figure out like what to do. Who is this guy without Spider-Man? And like you said, there is a way to do this, but you have to really like and you have to really respect the character of Kraven. Or you can invent a brand new character. And that's what we did. We just invented a new character. And this current Kraven is actually kind of a nice guy. He's a good guy. Again, every other depiction I've seen of Kraven, he's a psychotic, okay? He's crazy. But this time, he's a nice guy. And that's because Sony is afraid that if they have a psycho as their main character, you'll reject the movie. But we're jumping ahead. Kraven is raised by a domineering father. So his father's out there looking for some sort of mythical lion or some shit. And oh no, the lion found Kraven first. It jumped on him, it bit him, and it mauled him. And it dripped a little lion's blood into a wound.
Lion's blood.
And so he literally has the blood of a lion coursing through his veins. But there's not enough to save his life. Oh my God, he's dying out there in the jungle. Oh, thank God. He's in Africa where there's plenty of magical Negroes there willing to pour a little potion right into his mouth that will just magically save his life. The girl who pours the potion into his mouth, does she know what's going to happen? No, she's got no clue. So why the F does she pour it? Like, it doesn't make any sense for some stranger.
They even asked that question in the films, like, why did you pour this? What did you give
like,
me? And he's like, I don't know.
What?
It's like, you needed it.
What?
You needed
it. That's crazy. And then we're told that this is it. This is a special recipe that goes, something that's been passing down in her family, and her grandmother just died, so there's no more. It's almost like the super soldier serum, right? Only for the twist to be like, never mind, I got plenty. Like, okay, so you got a lot. How come she's not taking any? Shouldn't she be taking some? And okay, and so if this is a family formula, is there like a whole family full of like Kravens with superpowers out there in the jungle? Or like, what do they need so much of it for? Why? Like, what is it? The movie is uninterested in telling us anything. Poor Ariana DeBose was tapped to play this character named Calypso because she is just...
She's an Oscar winner,
she is way too talented for this. At the end of the film, she shows up with like some sort of dominatrix outfit. Where the f did she get that from?
Where did it come from?
Where did she get that from? Was that in Kraven's house? And then there's a scene where she's like, picks up a crossbow and he's like, oh, be careful with that. And she's like, you know what? I'm pretty good with these things. And I'm like, what? The movie is just, it's bad. I'm sitting here in the movie and I could not tell you what this movie was about. What the hell did Kraven want? Because if you can't figure out what Kraven wants, you got no story at all. Okay, so I'm like, okay, so maybe Kraven wants to take care of the mob. Is that what he wants to do? Get rid of like mob bosses? If he wants to take care of mob bosses, why not kill Russell Crowe? That's his own father, and he's the biggest mob boss there. And he's got easy access to his father. And he and his father don't like each other. So it's not like he's got to like kill his best friend or kill his, a father figure that he loves. He's got to kill someone that he hates who's been torturing him his whole life. So there's like no conflict there. Aaron Taylor Johnson, he is a beautiful dude. I wish I looked like that. God damn, you know what I'm saying? He's sitting there, he's modeling, he's looking good, he's looking fly, his hair is perfect. Yeah. But you know what? He's playing Kraven, a man who's usually dirty and rough and nasty and looks like he stinks and like probably lives outside. But Aaron Taylor Johnson looks like he's been living very comfortably. You know what I mean? Like he looks like he's been in the gym a lot. So it just, the movie just does not work on any level at all. But I think the reason why we're stuck with Aaron Taylor Johnson is because he's just a popular generic white man. And so they just cast him for everything. Instead of thinking like, is this really the guy that embodies Kraven? Then no one seems to think about this kind of shit. They just want like, does he look good in a vest? That's all anyone seems to care about. And joke's on you, he doesn't wear the vest until the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. I personally thought that he just did what he can do with it. Same thing like I felt with Bill Skarsgård with The Crow. He did what he can do with it. Okay. The first 8 minutes of this film, they released a week ago. They want to get this out there to the public to be like, hey, come see our movie because it's so action-packed. It's going to be like this throughout the whole movie. Just watch. And you're like, okay.
But the 8 minutes isn't bad. It's fine. It's like totally serviceable. But you know what the next shot should be? After those 8 minutes, after we see this dramatic jailbreak of Kraven going to prison, he's climbing the walls, he's killing some guy who's like a head honcho, I guess he's a mafia boss or something like that in the prison. The next shot should be like Spider-Man in school, Peter Parker in school. It's like, oh, so this guy is a dangerous guy, and who is he going up against? This child. Oh, that's interesting. That's provocative. But we're stuck with just Kraven, so we just follow Kraven.
Russell Crowe plays his father. And of course, he's this ruthless gang lord, not a leader. He's like a gang lord. He's the toughest of tough. And he takes his sons out of the school and he's like, we're going to go hunt for the biggest beast in the world to make you stronger, not weak. His whole thing was not being weak. Dimitri, your brother, is weak.
Right. Yeah, he's trying to raise two alpha males or some bullshit. Yeah.
And there's a point in here where Sergei's walking down the steps and Dimitri's there and he sounds exactly like his father. He's mimicking his father. And also when he gets older, he is a singer. He has a great voice and he can do all this mimicking and stuff. Spoiler alert, at the end of the film, he ends up being the chameleon.
I guess it's fine, And I think that's my problem with the movie. The movie, if this movie was an assault to the senses, like Madam Web, I'd have a lot more to say. But this movie is mostly fine. It's fine. Does Aaron Taylor Johnson absolutely shit the bed? No, it's fine. Does Russell Crowe absolutely put on a hammy, crazy performance? No, it's fine. Does the movie look like complete ass? Nope, it looks fine. And that's my issue. I say, be weird, be wild, be provocative, be strange, be experimental, but don't be boring. Don't be fine. And that's what we have here. It's fine. Is there a story? I guess if you dig really hard, right? Mostly this movie is like fine. The only thing notable and happened in the film, and you already said it, it's that we get a chameleon cameo, a full chameleon cameo at the end. That is it. I think what the movie's trying to tell me is that Kraven wants to kill mafia people, but the problem is his own father is a mafia boss. But the movie undercuts it by making Kraven pre-hate his father, right? He hates him already. And so there's really no conflict of interest in getting rid of his father. Like none. Okay. And at the end, spoilers, when he does get rid of his father, he does it very casually. And he does it very easily in the most horrific and ugly way possible. And it doesn't seem to bother him. There's no conflict. So like, the movie has no central issue, but we haven't talked about my favorite character of the movie, and that is Rhino. This is also another interesting choice. Rhino in the comic largely works because Rhino's hilarious. Okay, he's huge, he's dumb. Yes. He's a klutz. He just runs into shit all the time, and he's literally a man wearing like an outfit. Okay, there's a level of like camp to Rhino that makes him hilarious and makes him a great foil for Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man just rags on him the whole time. None of that is in this film. This movie, it plays everything so straight and so serious, including Rhino.
This man is wearing a backpack of juice, of better juice on it.
He was in one of my favorite movies, and he was in Face Off. He played Castor Troy's little brother. He's the whole reason why Castor Troy got effed up, because he called the plane, if you don't remember. I wish they went all the way and let him really ham it up.
He had a hilarious wig.
Hilarious.
I mean, it looked like what's his name? It looked like Anderson .Paak in Silk Sonic.
It's awful. He was like, he had like a bob. He was like, he was moving it around.
It's like you can clearly tell that's Tyler Perry quality fake.
His bob was bad. Ultimately, I think this movie is bad, but it's the worst kind of bad. It's the worst offender of bad films because it's boring. Kraven is so dull. It's even like color graded to be kind of like gray. Like it looks like nothing. The actors don't do anything. The story's not compelling, and it's constantly contradicting itself. There's just nothing to enjoy. The movie's too good for a bad movie marathon. Okay, but it's also too bad to be in like a regular movie marathon. It is just generic.
Now, let's talk about culprit number 2 of how Sony just murdered itself.
Because he was caught with the gun, all right? He had the gun in his hand. But the suspect that actually has all the evidence, one that really made the killer blow, is actually Madam Web.
A week ago, I spent my life racing against time.
I'm gonna help you out today, okay?
Madam Web is a truly bad film. This is a movie that it's like unbelievable that it made it into the theater. The movie's true nonsense.
These little spiders have the potential to cure hundreds of diseases.
Are you okay?
No. She's trying her best to keep me from working.
It's another film that I felt like, why? Why does it even need to be made when there's no Spider-Man in Madam Web?
Really funny.
Okay, the most egregious thing of this whole film is the bad guy in this film, because he had a vision of these 3 girls that has these spider outfits and they have spider powers, which I don't know how they got these spider powers, you know, and he's like, they're gonna kill me.
Who are they? He doesn't know. They're wearing masks. Why do they kill him? He doesn't know. So he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna monitor the whole world and find these women. I'm just gonna use facial recognition and find these women. How he can find them when they're wearing masks, I don't know. But then he's got to plug in. Somehow he's got to connect his mind to the computer so that it can understand what they look like. Because again, he only saw them in his mind in a dream. So is he himself looking at every individual human and being like, yep. Okay, there she is. No. So I'm assuming he's plugged into the computer somehow. I don't know. Okay, Cassie, who I guess becomes Madam Web later, just like those 3 girls, I guess become Spider Women later. I guess not in this film, but later. Cassie is a paramedic. She's running around. She seems to be like an adrenaline junkie or something like that. And in the beginning of the film, she dies. And what happens to her? Yeah. Nothing. They just kind of fish her out, and they're like, "You were dead 3 minutes." And she's like, "Oh, okay." Oh. So now what? Nothing. She's cool. She's totally fine. I'm like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
And when you think, this movie came out a long time ago, so I'm gonna skip straight to the end, y'all. When you keep that in mind, that she was in a terrible accident in the beginning of the film, and she died, and nothing happened, only for them to not only blind this woman at the end of the film,
and paralyze
cripple her. Why didn't they just do one of those things in the beginning? Why not blind her in the beginning? And now she's got,
would have been so good.
She's got to use a different kind of sight, foresight. She can see into the future now. Wouldn't that make more sense? And you can almost feel that someone wrote that, but then they erased it. They're like, no, they erased it, right?
It's like, no. She got to be able to walk around with these girls and go to these places and stuff and find them. She has to be able to do that. Why make it harder on us to write more complicated scenes with her being blind? With her being handicapped. Why make it complicated enough? No. Give her feet, give her eyes.
This was a plucky, young, spunky woman with lots of attitude and energy. Yeah. And at the end of the film, not only is she blind, she's freaking paralyzed. So she's like,
let's make her. let's make her seem like she is out of a nursing home right now, going to get her fruit cups from the kitchen.
Like, this movie is so bad, and there are these Spider-Men who live in the jungle apparently, but they can't say Spider-Man. So a character's like,
they say Spider-Man.
He's like a spider person. It's so bad. It's so funny.
Las Arañas, the mythical spider people who run across the treetops and punish evil men with their black poison touch.
The reason why I love bad movies, and the reason why I really do like Madam Web, is because it shows you that even the big guys F up all the time, okay? And you're totally open to criticism. And it, for me personally, who I'm really interested in story structure, and I'm interested in why does this movie work and this movie not? It makes me go down this like rabbit hole. What does Cassie want in Madam Web? What is her goal? Okay, I think what she wants is to protect these girls. Why does she want to protect them? Unclear. I guess she had a vision, and so she doesn't want the vision to come true, I guess. No, these are really, really basic questions. Both Kraven and Madam Web are really bad films, and I don't think anyone is going to be crying over the death of the Sony Cinematic Universe or Sony Spider-Man Universe or whatever it is / was called. I don't think anyone's going to give a damn.
But hey, that is how we felt about Kraven the Hunter, all right? And Madam Web. But more importantly, how do you feel about these films? Get in the comments and let us know what you thought about Kraven the Hunter and Madam Web. Just let us know.
You're showing off. Maybe a little.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new to seeing us, hit that subscribe button. It's right down there, all right? You can talk to us all day. We'll talk to you. And if you did like the review for these films, please hit the thumbs up. It really lets up out the channel. Or you can hit the thumbs down, whichever you choose. It is your opinion, but just remember one thing, it is mostly wrong. We will see you in another video. Thank God this whole Sony thing is done. Oh my God.